let me start from the setup guide. So the information that you need and the place where you find all the technical information regarding Mago and are always updated are on our knowledge base, that is kb.mago.io. So entering in this page immediately, it's like a guided setup guide. So you can choose which experience you want for your end users. Some rooms, volume rooms, are for budget. So customers want a good camera, very, very smart and quick and dirty experience to join meetings. And sometimes they use phone, browser, cable in your case, USB-C or HDMI. So they want to use the equipment, but they want to have a lot of these rooms equipped with technology and save cost in terms of pad controller or room license, team rooms, because they need multiple of these rooms. In the other side, we have a room system and BYOM, so it's combined, but is more dedicated for huddle room, focus room, large rooms, boarding rooms. So, and in this case, they want an easy to use system with a very, very good UX for joining Teams or other platforms sometime. This sometime is very important because the problems happens, especially if you are using the legacy product like Team Rooms or Zoom Room, when you use the direct guest join, CVI, and a very, very difficult for end users to understand that behind the join button, then they have a limitation on raise hand, chat, screen sharing. So they want consistent experience across different video provider. That's why we designed Mago. And just before to start to choose these two experience, and today we just configure the most complicated, so the room system plus BYOM. I want to have an highlight on the Teams discussion, because probably if you meet customers that are using team rooms, they want to understand, even if they don't use an example, Zoom or Direct Guest Join or any other platform, if there are benefits to switch on Mago. So first of all, what is very important is the architecture behind the join or host a meeting with Mago. So we are Microsoft partner, we are endorsed, we are in the marketplace of Microsoft, and in your Microsoft Admin Center, you need to trust Mago that is trusted by Microsoft. So it's the way to use the API in the right way and not password pin. Like an example, in India, there is a competitor called Zoapi that is using different method. So this is the certified method for having the right support on Microsoft and putting your end users in a support way. The second important part is Azure SDK. So it's generally available from 2024. It's improving. Now they are adding multiple features. And is a second option. There are two options. One is entering into the Microsoft ecosystem. That means using team rooms with certified hardware. And you have a certified hardware, you know, you have MDAP. You have to follow Microsoft device ecosystem. And only this type of system are supported, certified to run team rooms with basic or pro license. And then you have Teams desktop, Teams mobile, browser, MTR. So this side is regulated by Microsoft device, Teams device division. On the left side, you see Mago. So Mago is sticky and supported from Microsoft Azure Communication Services division. And we are designing our product based on the needs of the customers. So in fact, today we are talking about BYOM and room system plus BYOM. I will show you also the roadmap because it's important. So before Infocom, that is June of this year, in US, we will announce the dual screen and some video conference also triple screen support if you have a Neat Bar Pro, an example. So in this way, we are free to design the UI UX that we want because Microsoft provide the Core SDK, the UI SDK, the Graph API, and then we already have in the end Copilot Facilitator because it's the AI feature that end users start to discuss, to want for automatic recap of the meeting, agenda, and so on. So around this component, we created Mago. Mago into offering BYOM and Room System plus BYOM. So the main difference is, of course, in the division of Microsoft that we are working, and this is perfect for Neat Open because creating an app that do not require the Microsoft device certification, of course, we have to have some patterns and respect also the SDK that we have in the end because we have to guarantee 1080p and the quality. And we are working very sticky with your team. That is the leader is Helene. That is the owner of the Neat Open, and then we work with your laboratory in UK for testing and having a very high quality into the product that we put on the market. So in this case, using ACS, using Neat, customers have a guarantee to receive support from us, from Neat, and from Microsoft. So it's not a kind way to use Teams. No, Teams meeting is here. You can access from an authenticated browser as a guest, devices, and third-party application certified by Microsoft and by Neat and by Mago. In the BYM scenario, it's easy. We will go through also in this scenario. So I bring my bar, I just install the Neat app, and then I don't configure nothing on Azure, nothing on Entra. What's happened? If I scan the QR code, I say I want to join my meeting, I just have two options. ID and PIN or copy and paste the link, or sign in to my calendar. If my authentication fail, of course, because the authentication refers to Microsoft sign in and require the authorization of the app into the Microsoft Azure Enterprise Apps, then I land it as a guest. So someone have to admit my request to join. So I enter automatically into the lobby as guest. But if my organization at the tenant level or at the user level authorize my sign in into the browser that is trusted by Microsoft because we use Graph API and login and so on, I'm joining this meeting as Cristiano, as user, authenticated users. This is create amazing scenarios because end users want to scan and go or open a browser and say join my meeting, and people from remote see that the name is not the room name, is the username. So we created BYOM scenario, authenticated user, guest users. In the case of room system, that is the deep dive of today, we have the same. So if I just bring my Neat from the out-of-the-box experience, and then I just activate the Mago app, I just have the QR code or Mago link to join my meeting, and I'm guest, even if I have a pad. So I can control, but the room must be admitted to the session. Or if I create a room resource and I don't assign it, an example, a Teams license, my room, depending on the policy on Teams and the room resource, should be direct into the lobby or bypass the lobby. But in any case, by default, without an assigned license of Teams user license, and we will see how we can assign the license, this room is not able to instant meeting, so to start a new meeting. Okay, there is one question.
Cristiano, so the first scenario is pretty clear that we create a resource ID and associate it to the Mago admin console, and then configure all the ACS SDK communication services. You join as a guest in this case when you don't have a license. But the second scenario, which license you require on resource ID?
Yeah, okay. Here, in this second scenario, you will see that we have two options. If I scan the QR code or I connect via Mago link before to start instant meeting, automatically I'm getting Cristiano license, so user license, because I have authenticated users, and then when I start instant meeting, I don't need to assign any resource. But if I want to avoid to scan before the QR code or going to Mago link as authenticated users, I can assign the $4 license. So it's enough the Teams Essential, $4 per month. And then I'm able to have instant meeting. In all the three cases, when you buy our license, that is a subscription yearly, is $479, you have included 120 hours of ACS. And this 120 hours is not for rooms, so if you have multiple rooms, you can have a shared pool of time, so it's not related to the specific device. So every device we offer 120, but this 120 you will see in the admin center of Mago is cumulative. So if you buy multiple rooms and then one room you use 20 minutes per day and the other rooms use 3 hours, so they are getting the ACS credit. Otherwise, customers, big customers, can use their own ACS key. In this case, Microsoft bill directly the customers with the agreement that they have. So that's the...
Now, when you say 120 hours, is a month or a year?
No, it's a year.
It's a year, right?
It's a year, and you can add multiple hours. So with $99, if you need more, you can have 360 hours per $99. And what is good is it's difficult to understand now if it's cost more or less than MTR, but what we have analyzed with big customers in UK, with two global customers. One is headquartered in UK and one here in Europe with international facilities. They have, one is the 257 device MTR Pro deployed, $480 per device. Plus they have the optional Copilot and so on. And one customer with 100 plus rooms. So we analyzed that the average is in one customers that they feel to use a lot the meeting rooms, it's average 1 hour 20 minutes per day in the big customers. And the second one, 20 minutes using room system with Teams. Using room as BYOD or just for in-person meeting, it's more than when they use Teams. And when they use Teams, they see in the Microsoft console admin center that they use Teams and the performance and whatever. But no Microsoft and no this IT understood until we demonstrate that people bypass team rooms sometime in more of the meetings because they feel not comfortable on the buttons, on the UI UX, and they discover a way to connect the USB-C cable. So when end users switch on BYOD, BYOM, and they feel comfortable to use, they are not coming back to MTR. And in this case, you can demonstrate, and we discussed it also with Microsoft, that this is a very good point to put our room system based on Mago and providing information to the end users and the IT and the facility manager that end users use BYOM, BYOD, room mode. So in this case with Mago, we call advanced BYOM scenario. We can put the data in the hand of the end customers to better understand that they have a lot of saving. Sometimes it's 70% of the saving versus using just a Team Pro license for a room system. So it's good to challenge and to understand the customers that you have in front, to provide the perfect answer on this discussion of the license. So this is the part to introduce how we use Microsoft and the relationship with Microsoft. So now,
BT, Bisutosh, just want to check with my colleagues if they have any questions. Bisutosh, Pradipta, any questions?
No, not right now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
don't worry. I will barge in whenever required.
yeah, interrupt me if you have a question.
Yes, because we are right now dealing with the customer, okay, who is happy with the Mago workflow, but he somehow, so because I have not personally met that customer, only sales feedback has come, like they are having some issues in getting support from Mago team, okay. So so that's why we are more interested, because the customer requirement is 100% aligned with Mago workflow. Okay. So they are asking us to quote some alternate solution, to which we have denied. We have said, sir, Mago is a certified platform with neat devices. The local USB peripheral connectivity or the technical issues that you are running into is because of that NUC PC complex environment that you have created. So we are pitching in our hardware, and so we want to retain them in Mago. So somehow we are trying to reframe them their mind, like whatever the workflow and services is being today delivered by Mago is not possible with any other vendor. So if you have some kind of communication related issue, that is where Neat will pitch in and fix that for the customer.
Yeah,
okay?
we had a long story with Mago, because now we are ready, but in the past we had a very bad channel partners and bad experience through the Windows 11 or Windows 10 again, and especially in India, where people use any kind of PC, so it was not a standard. So now Mago, it's a standard product that run perfectly because it's in the full mainstream, and also on Windows we improved a lot, so there is no difference. But yeah, we need to reconvince these customers that Windows PC is an extra cost because you have to manage also the PC, but with Neat, no need of the PC, and you have the full experience, sometime better, and I will show you why. So in this setup now, you see it's fully configured. I'm using a room resource, and I use as display name the room resource neat@mago.io. So I create a room resource in Office 365. I can also use Google, depend of the customers. That is one option. And then I assign it as label the name of room resource, because if I enter in the meeting rooms, I want to forward my invitation, I want to know the name of the room resource, not just the name of the room, because sometimes for end users it's not automatic to understand that I have to forward to the room. This is the option to use the calendar. In this case is NeatBar Gen 2 connected, running Mago, and we have a branded default is without a wallpaper, so we have a branded identity of the customers. That is another good point to start to discuss, because instead of standard product like MTR without script, so you can push the customer identity, you can push the logo, you can push also on the new version that is already in my pulse here, on the pad controller, the same background. And it's important because customers love this, and you have also digital signage included. So now is in standby, is not set, so I can also set the policy and having a player of video, slide of PDF, images, and that's it. So that's the basic digital signage, but is included into our $479. The second part, very important, is the present. So competition, that probably you know Airtame, that is our competitor in the same way, need to have the client and the receiver, in this case is the bar, on the same network for wireless presenting. With Mago, you just press this button and you see the instruction, and if your guest is on tethering, just going on magolink.com and putting the 6-digit code, they are able to present content on the NIT device. And then we have collaboration, but this is not a whiteboard, so it's not the board. You can just transfer your whiteboard by scanning from Mago app or Mago Link, and you have create whiteboard or transfer whiteboard. We will see in the board later. On the pad controller also here you see we have a calendar, so it's replicated. Only on the main screen outside you see the glass effect, because this one is running on the new Android version that support glass effect. Your NeatPad version 1, so not the NeatPad Pro, is based on Android 10, and we don't have glass effect because there is performance issue. But in the new one, yes. Then we have here the button for the volume, the slider as well, and QR code. So talking with end users, reducing the complexity of the UI, providing the right branding of the customers. They don't want to have QR code always on the screen, and then if you want to show up, you just press on the pad and you have the QR code. Or through the policy, you can decide to keep always out, or if you don't use the pad controller, the QR code is always out. Then we have the last part, so that is the instant meeting. So I want to enter into the room. In this advanced use case, I activated all the platforms. Sometimes customers want an example, Teams and Meet, Teams and Zoom, Teams, Meet and WebEx. So included into the platform, included in 479, we offer also Mago Meet. Mago Meet is available, of course, on our cloud that is replicated. We have a question?
Yes, Cristiano. Sorry, I will keep on asking this. But this pairing which you did for controller and primary bar, is it happening at the Mago cloud level, or you are validating as a checklist Neat OS level pairing, which happens at the Pulse?
Yeah, it's through Pulse, and we will see after this introduction, we will erase this system from factory level, and we will go through pools, admin center, room resource requirements, and then we will come back to this configuration in 5 minutes if the requirements are met. In 5 minutes we are able to reconfigure the system, because we are not like Microsoft, they say express install. We are instant install. So
no, so at the first level of checkpoint, technically we do validate if the devices are paired at Neat OS level, a controller and a room device.
When you install Mago from Neat Open or app, automatically we install, if there is the pairing of the controller, the two apps, 1 year and 1 year. So it's automatically installed. If there is no controller, like in the board, or you assign later, the controller is managed at the Pulse level. No, you see here, we have the Neat pad and there is controller. And here there is a center and Mago with controller. So that's the...
Yeah, so why I asked this question, because we do have a situation from Zoom. What happens in Zoom is, when we put the devices on Zoom native mode, then even if the device are not paired at the Neat OS level, they are still paired at the Zoom cloud level. Which affects the user experience in terms of utilizing Neat symmetry mode, speaker focus mode from that slide out menu.
Exactly. No, we stay sticky with you, because if you have the Neat center, is automatically managed here in individual. So when you are in individual, you are using the NIT center or multiple centers. So that's why for us it's important to deploy together. If you want to use an external pad, you lose the NIT control. You can use iPad or Android tablet, wireless, an example, for some rooms, for executive rooms. Or you can combine this pad plus iPad. So there is no limitation of the number of the pad that you can connect to the same instance. But of course, if it's through NIT, it's everything through NIT. We don't allow to install alone, because then you lose the volume, you lose everything from the pairing between the device, the bar or the board and the pad.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now starting an instant meeting, it's easy. I can just select the provider that I want. And since I assigned a Teams Essential to this device, I have the button New Meeting. If I don't assign a license, I don't have a new meeting. So how I can show up? Scanning QR code, connecting my phone or Mago link, and then I use my BYOM account for starting an instant meeting. So in this case, it's starting because there is the license, and ACS, Microsoft ACS is already on, and I can search people here, including people to call directly on Teams or rooms. So the list here is the rooms of my organization. And I have a button call. An example, I can press call and the room automatically ring and connect to Teams. Or if I search here for people, I can search myself and I can call through Teams, because ACS is the gateway, and now I'm already in a call, so that's why it's not ringing. Otherwise, my phone and my Teams, it's automatically ringing. If it's outside the organization, I can put the full email address, an example, cf@mago.io, and then instead of call, I have invite. And pressing invite, I receive on my mailbox this invitation to join now, and as soon as I press, I can join with Teams browser or Teams app natively. So this is the two methods to call people from instant meeting. And of course, I can also call a room. Let me see if I seen it. Milano. Okay, Milano office is here. Oh, 1L too much. And I can call NIT Milano office. So hitting here, you see now, interrupt, what's happened on my NIT frame. I just accept, and he's joining the same Teams meeting and entering the same call. Okay, you have to admit on the pad, and now we are on the same call. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I close. That's it. Now come back to the NIT Pulse.
Yeah, the layout which you see on the Teams, I believe the button at the bottom are very small buttons when it is on NIT frame. Probably a challenge of NIT frame, but I will check on other devices also. As of now, I see very hard to operate the small buttons. When you join a Teams call from a Mago room, the layout shows the button. Of course, this is a Teams side interface, but it's very small. So you cannot mute, unmute. As you can see, I tried 3 times to enable my camera, but I'm still on the same screen. Not
Yeah, on the frame we will improve this small button, and
Yeah.
it's already in the discussion, and that's one of the discussion that we have with the guys. So now It's a good question. On the controller, you see we have big button, so that's the strategy.
Yeah.
And even this bar we
Okay.
are improving. So yeah, there are some optimization. In this case, the bar is on my back. I have the knit center in front of me, and that's why you see my face. But if I flip, so I have the knit bar that switch automatically in front. You see, because it automatically manage with the knit center. So now I have just one, but if you have multiple, it's automatically. And you can activate here this modality when it's in individuals. Otherwise, you have, of course, speaker focus, and you have auto framing or manual.
Yes.
When
I
you
think the new firmware will give you more audio switching as well, more clear audio switching.
Yeah.
I can hear your voice decibel level changing when it is changing from center to primary room. So maybe next time you can upgrade it to the preview release of 26.1. We have introduced a soft mixing of microphone from two devices.
But now I'm using the
So-
laptop. I am not using Neat, so I'm using my Mac.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. The webinar
could be
is
the next.
on my Mac. So let me call
Okay,
again
perfect.
this room because I want to showcase. Okay, on the controller I admit the frame.
Hello.
Accept. Yeah, Pradipta.
Hello.
Go ahead.
I heard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pradipta, you are on.
Hello.
hello,
Unmute. Just mute yourself.
me?
No, not you. My colleague. He was talking on phone.
Ah,
So, Cristiano, I have one question.
yeah.
Like, is the Mago support HDMI content sharing into a meeting?
Not it.
As SDI,
HDMI content ingest.
not on NIT, because NIT you have the mode to bypass in BYOD, BYOM, USB-C and HDMI. I need to investigate if we can, because we are just an app on NIT. And if you connect, you switch on HDMI. So that's the limitation of your platform. But I'm in discussion because technically it's possible, but we need to discuss with your team because here you have option to activate HDMI BYOD.
Correct.
Yeah. So now I connected again the knit frame. You see here that I have the frame and I'm in the same call. Just to explain from the end user point of view, this button. So view mode now is on speaker, so we are just in two, me and the remote device. If I press view, I see the local stream with the center in this case and the remote users. And since we keep 16:9 ratio, unfortunately on the frame that in the past in the one-to-one call we had a full screen on Teams. Even here we have the 16:9, so that's the limitation because we want to support more 16:9 instead of squared tiles in Teams. So we lose on frame this, but in Mago Meet, in Zoom are still vertical. So it's a choice since Teams we have to decide squared, but then if you have the functionality like individual, we lose part of the individual. So that's why we have this 60:9. But in example, if I present my content into the frame, I have people and content. So let me see if I'm able to do. So I want to share to call, Mago link, my laptop on this frame. So I go to magolink.com, C9X.
So on Mago calls, we do support 9:16 vertical mode on frame, a full view.
Not on Teams, because it's a choice that we decide to support 16:9. Otherwise, when you have meeting room devices, since it's server side, we have a squared tile and not 16:9. We prefer to have 16:9.
Mago to Mago platform call. What happens when it is Mago to Mago call?
Mago to
Does
Mago,
it stretch?
yeah, we have the full screen and also in Zoom.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I know Zoom does support, Teams does not support.
Yeah, what
That's what I mean.
I'm
Yeah.
doing now is sharing inside the
Content
Teams
share.
call that I generated, and you see that is my Macintosh. An example, I open a file here. So, and I have participant in the bottom of Teams, and I have the zoomable Macintosh here on my frame. I have people and share to call. So that's the good stuff. So it's also pinch to zoom to see what's happening in the 16:9. So now we close this. And I start again to share my screen. Stop sharing. My Mac is too tired. Okay, then we have a toggle of microphone and camera. You see, because I see it's delayed my Teams. We have raise hands and chat. So imagine that I join this meeting and I have a bubble by default here that showcases the Teams chat, or I want to see the full chat that people write in the same session from Teams. I just need to tap chat, and you see here the meeting chat. So when we will activate Facilitator on Microsoft, we are redesigning now these buttons to have also the way to activate AI or AI companion on Zoom. So for now it's not here. We have a chat, raise hand, view mode, share to call. So if you want to try and you open a browser on your laptop on Chrome and you go to magolink.com from India now, and you put the 6-digit code, then you are able to cast on this device without joining Teams call, if you want to try.
Oh, you want us to share?
Yeah, if somebody from far want to try to share, it's just to show you that we are in the Teams call on this Nitbar Gen 2, and it's not like Airtame that you need to be on the same network.
49H.
So that is the difference between Mago and Airtame.
Exactly. Imagine you have a guest and the guest is in front of you, is not able to join your Wi-Fi for security, and you have only a laptop or tethering. This is an option to say, okay, you are able to present. Otherwise, they have expensive equipment in the meeting room and they are not able to present.
So this Mago cast works in meeting and out of meeting, correct?
Exactly. Now,
And whether and it doesn't make any difference whether you have joined into Teams, Zoom, or WebEx call.
Yeah.
Every time, so it is like a Mago casting application.
Exactly. You see here we have the Teams ingested content of somebody of you from remote.
Yeah, it's being shared by me. I can see the toggle camera icon as well. What is this toggle camera icon?
Yeah, because in the actual version we are the first users and we are removing these buttons here. Otherwise you activate, because you can control with the same technology also the meeting room. So this is not a bug, a feature improvement. So we remove also the camera and microphone from here. We leave only your volume and stop.
So if there is any audio in the presentation, that will be also shared.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Consider that if you are in the high-speed network or in LAN, you can showcase, of course, also video because it's fast. But if you are from far, maybe the video depend of the network. So it's,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
That
Now, yeah, you can press stop. I press end, and this is the way to use the Teams. Second option, it's creating a meeting from my calendar and sending to the system. So then we will go through how we can, an example, I create a meeting in my calendar now for this tech demo to NIT India. And I invite the room resource NIT at mago.io with a Teams meeting. Teams meeting is of course automatically in Outlook. Otherwise, if you have Google Meet or Zoom, you can use here, paste a link in the notes. So now we start with Teams. I just want to start. And now I wait the acceptance. When you see the message from Microsoft, Office 365 accept, then we will have a badge here ready for starting a meeting. Okay, you see? Depending on the policy, you can showcase only the next meeting or full day meetings. And you can decide to showcase start button on the tile only 5 minutes before to start, or 10 minutes, or 1 hour. So there is a policy to manage this. So hide the name of the meeting, hide the name of the organizer, just say busy. And now hitting from the controller, I'm starting this meeting as a room and joining, bypassing the lobby, because in our policy, the room bypass the lobby, the room of the same organization.
do you also support dual display on this, right?
Dual display is in roadmap. I introduced this morning that Infocom, we support dual and triple display on NetBar Pro, dual on Teams, Zoom, WebEx, and I show you later the layout.
Okay.
In the actual, what I'm showcasing today is what is available today in Neat Open. So if you today go to the customers and you activate, you have all of this feature. That's the availability of the feature. So now I want to open my browser. I go to Meet because I'm normally a Teams user. So, and I want to go to Meet, google.com, create new meeting. I don't have any connection with Google Calendar. I just want to create for later. And here you have the joining option. So I copy this link. I go to my Outlook as Outlook users, because imagine you send me a Teams, it's okay. But if you send me a Google Meet, I have to forward your invitation to the room resource. Or if I want to create now, I just select again a space and then Google Meet demo. I invite Meet at the Office 365 room resource, mago.io, and I paste in the notes here the generated link. Now is sending to the same room resource that is, in the meantime, I access also here. So my Mac is okay. Here we will see, as soon as the room resource accept, also the Google Meet, you see? Now I start this Google Meet, and instead of Teams, is starting and joining automatically Google Meet. And in my in my console here, so it's very slow now, my laptop, I don't know why. Okay, I disable the camera.
communication
users, so it's two different users.
between Microsoft intro call and then Teams user with understanding.
WebRTC is a protocol. Authenticated users is authentication. So the right answer is on Microsoft we use the 1080p. If the bandwidth and the requirements are satisfied. Is not 720, it's 1080p, upstream, downstream, and the WebRTC is the protocol, so they use H.264 with different profile based on the bandwidth, the core of the system. And on Google Meet, we reach 1080p, and we use the Google WebRTC protocol, that is VP9 something, specific of Google, but the integration is like in Cisco, like in Guest Join, plus we have tricks to have instant meeting also in Google. So that an example, I want to stop now and start an instant meeting on Google Meet. I have a way and
yeah, sorry to interrupt. So does that mean it's a browser-based call when we are initiating a call?
Exactly. And the browser engine that we use is a Chromium engine. So if you configure, and there is a way, because we have a request from your customers to have also instant meeting on Google Meet, we are using the browser experience. So now I'm creating a meeting. You see Google Meet is starting. The browser is authenticated, and I don't know what's happened on the pad here. And the instant meeting allow me to call another device. An example, I want to call the same NIT Milano office. Same of Mago Meet, same of Teams. Now you see here that is ringing. Sorry, it's accepting.
So this call, which is this call when you are inviting
room to room.
Mago room.
Oh yeah, I have the same account. Yeah, I can call Mago room to Mago room, sending the link of different provider: Teams, Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet, or Mago Meet. If I start from the device.
Okay, but it has to be on two different users. In your case, it was the same account, so it cannot jump in.
Yeah, that's because I'm in mindset today to start from the configuration, but I want to show you the full experience, and yeah, I'm using the same account. Okay. Let me share again.
Sure, in case of Google Meet, it's a browser-based, but in case of Teams, it's a Teams app-based calling.
No, we use ACS as SDK, and the protocol is WebRTC. So we create the UI based on the native, of course, SDK. Our choice is server side. So if we change something, no need to push a new app on the device. We change on the server side on Microsoft Azure. Zoom the same, WebEx the same. We use the SDK.
Okay.
Yeah. Google Meet, we use the standard Google Meet. That means is the web browser application, and we just remove an example, the button in the passive screen, modifying the CSS on the session. You see is the Google Meet standard UI. If you are on the board, you have the button on the bottom of the Google Meet. Before to close, on Google Meet, If you want to share, instead of Mago link, use native Google. So you can scan, and an example, I scan with my phone, just opening the camera, and my phone is connecting directly and sharing in Meet, because I'm using the Meet. 1 second.
It's kind of companion mode.
Yeah,
because you have
companion
the
mode.
same as companion.
Exactly. Share screen. And you see start broadcast, you see my phone inside the Google Meet call, or my laptop, if you go, is inside. This is a news that we recently added. Thomas, I shocked you because I showed you 5 days ago in the customer side. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Here we go. So Google Meet, it's a Google different environment. So it's a big beast, and we cannot have API or nothing. So we use the native browser experience. But we have instant meeting, and we will see how we can configure instant meeting, because it's account required on Gmail or Google Workspace for having instant meeting. Now I'm using a free app on Google Gmail, but you can assign also the Google Workspace Pay account. What else? Then, of course, you have WebEx and Zoom, but it's exactly the same. You see, if you have an account, you have new meeting or join ID. In this case, I'm using a free account of Zoom. I have a limitation of 40 minutes. Otherwise, joining is always free. So, and join is with ID and PIN, or scan QR code with a phone or a laptop. So, same of other platform.
Christian, sorry to interrupt actually. So coming to a little more basic actually. So if we set up any room, so first of all, we will create a resource ID, so which is obviously comes free of cost. And then we need to assign a Mago device license on top of that, right?
Yeah, you buy the Mago license, but now I finished the almost the user experience, and we will go through step by step of license of Mago, how you activate, where you find information to create room resource, what you need on Azure to say Mago is enterprise app trusted, if you want to use the authenticated user in the instant meeting.
You please go ahead then. I will not interrupt. Sorry. Yeah, please.
No,
go
it is step by step, because I want to show before to erase,
sure.
to show you the full configured system.
I just jumped in actually. Yeah, please
if
go ahead.
I don't have a phone, how I can start my meeting? So showcasing the QR code, you see there is every minute change in this code, because we use the magolink.com that is available on Azure, on Mago infrastructure, and is changing every minute. So now if I go to my browser, magolink.com, let me, okay, you see I have sign in or just connect. If I just connect, it's 4SS. Oh, somebody is connected. Hot.
Sorry, I'll disconnect.
Yeah, so I'm connecting with the browser because I don't have a phone, and I have 3 options. One is share screen, so there is no meeting, it's share to display. It's like the share to call, but it's on the display. I can present file even on iPhone, so I don't want to install the app. I can just use this magolink.com, or I can join my call. If I press join a call, I can paste the link of the call or join ID and PIN. Or if I sign in with Microsoft Calendar, I'm able to connect my calendar and no need to copy and paste the link. I just select the meetings from my calendar. You see my meeting today. I want to start deep dive, join screen. Now this meeting board is joining and activating, and
The organization. Oh, sorry. Cristiano, the organization which has an authentication level for admin approval on calendar authentication, all those users need authentication from admin, or we can enable app access for calendar at the tenant level for Microsoft.
This is part of the
yes.
next step. So how you can join your calendar, Google or Microsoft. So it's a part of the next step. So I will show you.
Okay, perfect.
It's the same of the room resource. You can decide tenant level or user level. So it's the official Microsoft or Google documentation that we will go through the knowledge base. So you see, no phone. I just open the browser and I'm able to control the meeting session, camera, microphone, show the button share to call or screen share now my laptop automatically into the session, and I choose what I want to show, and now I close. And ending a meeting is closing. So I'm authenticated, start a call, join a call, share screen, present file, and whiteboard. So because I'm users of Mago. Now disconnect.
One quick question, Cristiano. This QR level authentication, can we have a second level of authentication from the room level, whether the user want to allow the sharing or not? Is there an option to enable it?
No,
like, for example, if this QR code, if somebody is using this QR code outside the room, he sees the screen and he wants to push something on the screen without any authentication, he will be able to share, right?
Yeah.
If he's in the same office.
Yeah. You just open here. You go, an example, I open a private browser, so incognito mode. I don't want to use, 1 second.
But can we implement a second level of authentication from the controller if somebody is trying to connect using the QR code?
You need to use the Mago link here, and you put the code that
fine.
You see. That's the basic use case. I don't know. I don't understand your question. Sorry.
Okay. Let me explain again. Okay, you and I are sitting in the meeting room. Okay, and Bisutosh probably or Pradipta is passing by from outside the meeting room, and they think about something like naughty things, and they want to present it to the meeting room just by looking at the QR code. So they are not there in the meeting room, but they are in the same office and they are sitting outside. So for them, they can directly share to the meeting, right?
No, because normally the QR code is hidden, so until you connect. So that's why we keep hidden. So you decide when you want to showcase the code. Some display manufacturer put the code always on the screen.
On the top.
Mago, for avoiding this issue, decided to put this. But in the roadmap, we have Mago Link 2 that will have the moderation. We will use for education. So imagine you have a student and they see the QR code and they try to connect, and then only the moderator and the teacher decide who and how many screens.
Yeah.
And we start on the meeting room on 4, so you can have 4 projection, and on big LED wall 9. So that's the Mago Link 2 that is in roadmap. And as
of now, only one user can connect using the QR code.
Yeah, because we want to keep it easy and avoiding friction. So it's frictionless, and for security, no QR code outside like team rooms. Imagine that I went to my distributor in Dubai and I see on the screen during the big tech talk, people scan the QR code and start a session. That's not good. So that's why. And we can also showcase if we want only on the pad and not on the screen. So then it's a policy, no? And this is prevent to have a QR code outside. Yeah, this is what we have now.
Okay, next question. Next question on the content sharing part. On when there is no meeting, yes, Mago Link will work. When there is a meeting, does Mago Link work on all the platform? Because you said Google Meet is companion mode. It's a different QR code.
Yeah.
For Zoom, is it the Zoom cloud share which happens?
is
And for Teams,
automatically,
can we still use the Mago link?
yeah, Zoom, WebEx, Mago Meet, and Teams is a share to call. So that means when you press and you are in the video call, is automatically ingesting into the video call.
So same Mago link can ingest into any platform call.
Yes.
You are saying.
Yeah, except Google Meet that you have a Google platform. So
Rest all is okay. Cisco WebEx call, I can directly
Yeah.
use Mago link and ingest into a WebEx call.
Yeah, exactly.
Teams also, I can use Mago link
Yes.
and ingest into a Teams call.
yeah,
Zoom also, I can use Mago link
Yes.
and ingest into a Zoom
yes,
call.
yes. So yes,
Except Google Meet.
except Google Meet.
Okay.
So now,
Okay.
since we have 50 minutes, because then I have a back-to-back meeting, I enter now into detail. So
Sorry.
we see everything here. Now I disable Mago. We are in the developer tenant, that's why you see two Mago. In your tenant in production, you just have the black one. So I'm using the internal development pools. So now when removing the app, what's happened is, is the out-of-the-box experience. So you bring your neat, there is no app, is in neat app mode, so open, no team rooms. You just have an empty screen. No? Now you can assign app. In the meantime that we install the app, so that just on, is automatically installing on both devices the two apps, you see?
Oh, so you only selected two different apps for both the devices, or you
No,
just
single
selected
app,
Mago?
single app,
Is the same?
and push
Same
on
app,
pad and device, because need understand that we have a group that include the pad, you see?
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, this one.
Mhm.
Okay, so in this case, pad is already available, and on the left it's more time, because there is it's 300 megabytes. Okay, so in the meantime we go back to our console. So every customers have to sign in first time to start to use the Mago Admin Center, and they found after the sign in an empty console. Now I use my console that is not empty, of course. So if you sign in with Microsoft, then you are joining an empty console, and you land here with 00000 everything. In my console I have a lot of devices because it's developers, and I have licensing, renewal, expiration, so it's a way where I manage my infrastructure. I have room list, and I have activate device. So as soon as NIT is ready, so let me connect again, what I see on the main screen is this code for activation of the device. I have to go on the admin console, activate the device, and put here the 6 digit that I see on the screen. That is 4SJ T5S 4SJ T5S. Okay, now if it's a customers, you can provide a free trial, and automatically he has 30-day full usage of the product. Or if they bought the license from the distributor, they have a serial key, they have to add a new license, and then they will found in licenses. Or in this case that I already activated this device, I want to reactivate with the existing license, and here I have a list of my license. So now I know that my license is an example this. Continue. And now here I put the label name for my commodity of the room resource that I pre-created. So here is neat at mago.io, and I say video bar. It's just a label. Then it's automatically detecting if it's passive screen or active, but on it is automatically detecting. Here I can assign the room resource if I configure the room resource. In this case I have, so, and then we will go through how we can configure the room resource. Microsoft, and here we use the OAuth 2, and I want to use neat@mago.io. So the room resource is defined on Microsoft 365, and now is connected. By default, I want to say you can join from the pad, meeting ID and passcode, even on Google. For Zoom, you need to connect even a free account before to activate, because it's limitation of Zoom that ask an authenticated users also for guests from 2nd March. So you just press here connect, and you need to sign in with a free account of Zoom or pay account, depend if you want instant meeting or not. So now I'm going to Zoom. It's a little bit slow today. Okay, I use my account, or you can use sign in on different provider, and then I configure also Zoom, WebEx, and Google Meet. So now I activated all. If I select only some of these on the pad, an example, I don't want Google Meet and Google, I will find only Zoom, WebEx, and Microsoft Teams. And this is the basic configuration. So now if we go here, we see that the device has a calendar. We already have the meeting because we created a meeting today, and the pad is not yet connected. I have to pair with the 6-digit code here or search from the device list. So now it's looking for Neat Mago video bar. Here we go. Now we have also the pad connected. No background, no instant meeting, is just join because it's the default. And the 3 icon appear because I selected on the admin console to show only the provider that I want to provide to my organization. And Teams, we just have meeting ID and passcode, no instant meeting, Zoom the same, and WebEx the same. If you want to add more features, then you can go here in the admin center and you can create policies. An example, I created the policies for appearance for the background. I call neat BKG, I think, BKG. I created this morning this policy with the Red Bull. I added background on the screen and the wireless touch controller as well. I don't want to activate digital signage, Creston control, and then I press submit. So when the policy is defined, you go to the room list, neat@mago.io video bar, that is the label that we assigned, is online. And here, I already assigned it because it was pre-existent device. I just say apply policies. Is yellow because the system understood that the device is not aligned with the console. So applying the policy, you will see that is automatically getting the policy background now on the screen. And on the pad, we need to wait, or just disconnecting or reconnecting is getting, because this is a new feature, is getting also on the pad the new policy. Here we go. So now we are almost like before, but still not. We don't have the instant meeting. We can just start a meeting from calendar or join a DM pin. Okay. This is the basic configuration, easy to understand. Now, customers want to assign a license for instant meeting. They have to follow on our knowledge base how to configure. Okay, now let me end because this is in the lobby. The meeting is waiting to be admitted. So first of all, if I go here in the room list and I search again for this neat at mago.io, I want to selectively add features. So since the room resource has an assigned Teams Essential license, I can activate more features like join using connected account. An example, instant meeting, I want to enable chat. So now on Teams, we have not only join ADM pin, I can scan and access as BYOM, or I can start an instant meeting because this room resource connected is valid. On Zoom, the same. So this account, even if it's free, I have a limitation of 40 minutes or 50 minutes. I want instant meeting. WebEx, I need to connect an account. An example here, I have a free account with 50 minutes of WebEx grace period. It's an extreme configuration, but we have 3 providers now with instant meeting. You see, all the connection is through the broking service provided by Teams, Zoom, WebEx. So there is back-to-back configuration. And now if I update the policy to the device, I need to check the controller that is not synced. Yeah. It's 080. Okay, it's getting now the policy. Now if I go here and I select all of these 3 providers, instead of only join ADM pin, we have instant meeting, new meeting. Even in the WebEx, even on Zoom, according to the policy that we set on the screen. So we are almost in the same situation of before. We have instant meeting.
Question, why do we have volume control on the controller level at the home page? Can it play sound for the digital content? Like volume control button is appearing at the bottom
No,
right corner.
Sorry?
We have volume control. You see minus and plus and then the volume slider on this page. Yeah, why do we have this on the home page? Is this for the digital signage content which will be played?
No, this is the pad, because if you present content and you want to reduce the volume in the casting, you can reduce the volume here.
Okay.
Is to control the volume on the video streaming. If you are presenting content, an example is too high volume, you can interact here, or you can interact, of course, on the neat volume is the same. But you see that you don't have a control when it's in up mode, otherwise it's overlapping, and you can use just this one.
One more question, Cristiano. I remember back in Jitex, you did mention that we are planning for giving an option for multiple calendar integration. Is it done, or we are still in the phase of doing it? Multiple calendar integration to the same room?
No, this is not a roadmap. What we have is Microsoft Office 365 or Microsoft Exchange or Google Gmail or Google Workspace. There is no multiple calendar. What we have in roadmap is customers that don't want to use a pad. We are designing in the UI, still not available. Log in here, and then you can sign in with your calendar and see your calendar if you don't want to use the room calendar or you don't want to use the QR code. So that's what we have in roadmap. But there is no mixing between different provider. Single provider is the configuration, the logic. It's feature not.
Okay, so
not
either O365 or Google Workspace.
or it's or
Either of them.
yeah, no mixing, no or user calendar. So if I scan with the app or with Mago link, you see your calendar and you override the room. And of course, now we go through the discussion of the admin center. So of the configuration of knowledge base. Now, going to the knowledge base, we restart from the beginning. So how I reach this configuration and how I can reach BYOM only. So now, going on the right, that is the most complex. You go to the room system. You select which device you want. Example is Neatbar Gen 2 or Pro. Install on Neat Pools. So you go, you turn on the app, you check, of course, that is Neatbar Gen 2 or Pro. You prepare the controller and everything. So if you want to add also wireless touch controller, you download the app for Android or iPad. You prepare the network. Of course, in your case, it's more easy. Wireless screen sharing. To use Mago Link, there are some ports to allow Mago Link traffic. And then you have to authorize the Mago in your organization. So before Mago can access room calendar and video conferencing provider on behalf of your organization, a tenant administrator must grant consent to the Mago application in your identity or service provider, such as Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. This is one-time operation that authorizes Mago to request the permission it requires, such as reading calendar events and authenticating meeting participants. Without this consent, device will not be able to display room calendars or join meeting as authenticated participant. Here you see Microsoft or Google. In this case, we are using Microsoft. So we go into the Azure console, and we need to, or Entra is the same, and we have to check that Mago Enterprise app is available. This is the code if you want to copy and paste. Otherwise, you search in the bar of Entra of Microsoft, and when you add the Mago app, an authentication refers to our admin Mago.io. You sign in with Microsoft with the administrator, and if you assign only this room, no need to press here. If you select this, you are consenting for all the room, all the users of the organization. So this is the standard Microsoft way to have the admin consent selective or tenant-wide. There is a question?
No, Christian, you please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so assigning this permission, you are able to use room resource, and you are able to use the app for authenticated users. Then you go to Azure portal, and you sign in with your Office 365 account. And you have to check this Mago application that is available under Enterprise app. So now I go here. I have my admin Mago. I created a tenant here, and I already did this process. So if I go to Enterprise application, I already have my Mago because I added here in my and disactivated. Adding new application, I searched Mago, or you have the object ID and application ID. That is what is documented here in the knowledge base. So we are in this situation. Now you enter into the Mago application, go to security and permission, and verify the admin consent is be granted to your company or which users you approve, because you can select users, room resource, or tenant-wide. So if you don't provide this, your users scan and your request is sent to your administrator. Your administrator have to go here and approve or decline. How to create room resource? You can go here and follow the Microsoft 365. I see that you already have. And when you have room resource, normally is without any license. Of course, if you assign Team Rooms license, Basic or Pro works, but it's expensive. So my suggestion is, if you want instant meeting on the pad, assign a Team Essential that is $4 per month. Then go through the video conference. So based on the provider that we set, except Mago Meet that is built in, you have to decide if you want guest join or authenticated calls. For authenticated calls, here you have the full procedure. And the full procedure, you have to go on your Azure portal, Enterprise app, same of the before, and add, if you don't have, Azure Communication Services. Adding Azure Communication Services, you normally customers already has, but if you don't have, how you can activate? You go on top of here on the Azure portal, Enterprise application, you press PowerShell and you follow this command. So install module Azure AD, replace tenant ID with your tenant ID, connect Azure tenant ID. When you are connected, then you new Azure ADS principal app ID, copy this and then paste, and that's it. So that's the Azure Communication Service active. So this is the important step. Otherwise, you are guest. And then if you activate Azure, you activated the Mago app in the portal the first time, and you approve the tenant-wide or user selected permission, you are able to use the three methods: guest, room join, user join. Of course, then you enroll the device, you activate the Mago from NIT open, so we need to modify this. The first launch, we request permission, camera networking, yes. Sign in Mago Admin Center, what we did, activate the device with the same procedure of before, so we enter in our admin console, admin.mago.io, the same procedures that we did together before, and you sign in, you go to room list and you activate device. You put the 6-digit code and you decide trial or new license or existing license if you refresh. If you need an FR license, we have created a pool of license for you. You can ask to Chico. You have 250 license, but if you need more, we can provide more. That are NFR are for you, for your showroom, for your demo, not for end customers, but you can also, with Thomas, with me, with my guys, train your partner, and we can assign also to the partner system integrator for using the system, not in trial mode. So when you configure Mago the first time, you select if you want to connect calendar or not, video provider, with the switch on off, join with ID and PIN. Then you pair the controller, tapping the first time the name of the room NIT bar Gen 2 or Pro that show the controller. You can also use the controller with NIT board, of course. You create a group in NIT Pulse, and we install also the app automatically on the controller if it's paired with the board. You configure the policy, and then you verify time, network. Sometimes performance suggested, especially for a full HD, are better on cable. So if you connect the cable, you have a very stable full HD. Otherwise, you need to have 4 megabit upstream, 4 megabit downstream for having a very stable, high quality full HD 1080p. And that's it. You test everything. You test wireless sharing with MagoLink, test video call, and you are in. So that's the step guided. You can play around this guide, and then if you want more advanced configuration like policy and adding digital signage and so on, we can create a second session with me or my colleague to see detailed configuration around the admin center and the policies, but it's very, very intuitive here. So policy for language, display, appearance, calendar, instant meeting, and digital signage. Here you can create import media and create playlist, and then on the device you can assign a playlist. An example, Neat at Mago video bar. You can assign a digital signage playlist that is inside the policy of appearance. In this case, this policy have no digital signage, and yeah, that's the second step. But this is the quick start. Following this guide, if you have feedback, of course, or problems, you contact directly me, Thomas, George, or Massimo, and we can support you in the first steps.
Very nice, Cristiano.
So,
You
Cristiano,
covered mostly everything.
I recorded everything, so we can also provide you this video, and you can, of course, reuse internally.
So I have a question, Cristiano. So when I look into the feature set differentiation between Android and Windows, so for Windows I see wireless screen sharing, which is Miracast, AirPlay, and Google Cast is supported.
Yeah.
As well as wired HDMI screen sharing is supported.
Yeah, and Windows,
So-
depending on the hardware, yes, it's correct.
So is there a roadmap that at least in Android we will start supporting wired HDMI content sharing in future?
We already tested AirPlay successfully, and I need also you guys to support, because sometimes in the Android world, the manufacturer add their own wireless casting. Example, you added the casting on Neat Open, and the experience is Neat Open or in Mago. And for end users is why I have two methods. So, and I try to convince your colleagues that yeah, we can activate AirPlay and Miracast easily. We tested, amazing performance. But for us, it's not just adding the protocol. It's also if you are in a call or you are not in a call. So that's the UX that end users expect. Otherwise, they have to understand the different method for casting. But yeah, it's something that we discuss with your team. Thank you, guys.
Cristiano, thank you.